collecting of my thoughts. I'm ready to pretend. How will my head get back to thinking straight again? But I can't see an out, and I don't mean to put all my doubt on you. And I know you're struggling too. When you carry the weight, when you carry the weight, can you carry the weight of my world? Can you carry the weight of my world? through all of this. You told me that you loved me so much, but now we're here, and I can barely breathe. Inside my head, I pulled apart all the pieces to only see I've always wanted you. So let's take this time to feel it all, no lies. 'Cause if we don't, the fight will eat the life. Stuck in self-destruct, and we can't wake up. Don't wanna give it away. Can't make me give it away. Don't eat the love alive. Don't eat the love alive. Don't eat the love alive. I know we're scared, and every day feels like a bad day. My biggest fear is you will walk away. The battle's here, and I'm standing in the fire. So take my hand, and we will stay alive. So let's take this time to feel it all, no lies. 'Cause if we don't, the fight will eat the love alive. Stuck in self-destruct, and we can't wake up. Don't wanna give it away. Can't make me give it away. Don't eat the love alive. 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 Don't eat the love alive.
Howdy everyone, how we doing? Happy Wednesday. It is April 26th, 2023. Last Wednesday of the month, so you know what that means. It is Q&A, just casual hangout. The script goes out the window. Although saying that, I'm probably going to stick with a lot of the sections we normally have. It's just that there's no main topic. How are we doing, chat? Welcome to everyone who is watching right now, and if you're watching on replay, love you too. This is Myles Dyer Live, the live show where every Wednesday we hang out here and talk about all things from the serious, might be life hacks, mental health and well-being, world events, to the fun and silly, maybe movies like we did last week. That was a good one. Quizzes, gaming, who knows? And it's just lovely to hang out with all the wonderful, wonderful people in the chat. Let's see who we've got here. Well, we've got positivity, as always, from the wonderful Mark Pringles Leaf. I'm doing great. Miles, thank you. Karina, we got Siago, we got Cali Time Cat, we got Mojo, we got Canuck Tunes, who, by the way, just told me during the intro that Zipster08, who was an old school YouTuber that I knew had sadly passed away on Saturday. So obviously huge condolences to his family and friends, because loss is never easy. Chris in the Purple House is in the Purple House. Welcome. Lesser Logic. We've got Serial Killer. The birthday celebrating Game Cat. Is it your birthday? Happy birthday! I mean, if it's your birthday, surely it should be something like this. That was the best that I could do. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And if it is your birthday today, the fact that you've decided to come and spend it with us, amazing. And if it's not your birthday, well, just hang on to those well wishes for when your birthday is finally here. Huge love to Karina and the mods who keep the chat going well. And I mean, to be honest, everyone is pretty good at self-regulating and being lovely. Melanie Black in the chat, hello to you as well. So, it has been an absolutely manic day. I have had a 14-hour day. It was like another 5:30 a.m. wake-up call. I was heading into London for a day of filming. Got back about an hour ago with some pizza because I didn't have time to cook and do pre-production for the show. I was kind of grateful that it being Q&A meant I didn't really have a lot to plan, but I still needed to get certain slides up and things like that. I'm just really glad to be here, but I'm absolutely exhausted. Vargelsloth, welcome. Good to see you here. And Random Toxie says, "Go Myles, it's your birthday." It's not my birthday. It's someone's birthday, though, I do believe. So for anyone that is new, don't forget that you can find me at all these links, mylesdyer.com. I'm primarily active on Instagram, although you can also find me at Facebook, Myles Dyer Official. Twitter, I'm still there, even though I no longer have the blue tick, and everything has just gone downhill in terms of engagement. They want me to buy Twitter Blue. And if you're ever tweeting about the show, use the hashtag Myles Dyer Live or Quest for Empathy, because that's what we're all here for. And you can also drop me an email on my new public email address, contact@mylesdyer.com. But I am in the process of setting up a Discord. It is still in the process. I've just been working on many other things, but we'll get to all that in a little bit. In terms of what the schedule is each week, every Wednesday, we do Myles Dyer Live here. Last week, I had an absolute amazing time with Kaylee talking about movies. It was a really great show. Despite the technical difficulties, Kaylee had a wonderful time. And she actually posted on Instagram that she went to see Casablanca on the big screen, which was a movie on her gas list. So that was awesome. I wasn't about on Friday night for PSVR Without Parole, Gamescast Live. So it was a good one without me anyway. I was out with Karina and my friend Mario. Watching Coven in London, which was great fun. And then at the weekends it's Let's Play, and we had a really great time with Synth Riders. We will be doing a Let's Play this weekend. I wonder what it could be. Mark, maybe you might have an idea of what it could be, but more of that later. As is always during the live show. Sorry, that is the wrong slide that I'll get to a bit later. Oh my god, that scared me, just seeing my face pop out like that. Some of you are already active with this, and do you know some of the previous puzzles we've set up have been completed over 16 times? So these are actually taking off on the website, which I find amazing. This one is a 390 piece puzzle. 60 pieces have already correctly been assembled. If you want to take part in it, the link is pinned in the comment section of the chat. And yeah, you can just get involved. You just click on a block. I always do this and mess things up. And then you click what you want to swap it with. And it will go red. Oh, that was a green one. That's not there. I don't know. I'm going to mess that one up. Maybe it goes over there. But it goes green. But then if you take it away, it goes red again. If it's not in a right place and you move it to one that isn't the right place, it doesn't make any colour. But if it goes red, it means you've actually moved it away from a correct position. So the challenge is always, can you complete it before the end of the show? And it's just a nice little something. If you don't just want to see my mug on the screen on video, you can see my mug in a video thumbnail instead, just grinning at you like that constantly. So good luck with that. Today is Q&A, which, funnily enough, because I have been setting up these new banners, I think I do actually have this. Is this going to work? It says it's working, and it should mean that I then have this. Yay, it's Q&A day, which means you can leave any questions you have in the live chat with a Q at the start. I know some people have been asking questions already, so I do need to do some scrolling up to favourite them. But I have already been falling behind. Obviously, if you have the Q emoji, which you get for becoming a member, you get priority. And also, you would have also been able to get some questions in early via my YouTube members only feed. And if you do want to become a member, you can become a member for as little as a price of coffee every month. So yeah, feel free to just keep sending in your questions. I will get to them momentarily. But first, I think we should talk about, yeah, you guessed it, vitamin G. Vitamin G. What? I feel like we need a theme song for vitamin G. Vitamin G is all about gratitude. I actually spoke about it with my colleagues on Monday because our boss, head of marketing, was talking about the importance of, being... he didn't use the word grateful, but he says, feeling fortunate for others. And so I sort of reinforced that, and I explained the power of vitamin G. And I think a GPT has already written the song. Yeah, quite possibly. And so, yeah, we just like to take this moment. Seriously, I don't drink coffee either. So what price can I relate to? I don't know. What else is the... I mean, it's your birthday anyway, so you should keep your money to yourself. So yeah, this is just an opportunity for you to express what you are grateful for. I am grateful for some really small things in life, one of which is behind me. I don't know if that is just Chris saying he is grateful for milk, in which case, fair enough. Mojo says, price of milk. Are you grateful for the price of milk? Oh, you were talking about what would constitute the price of a coffee. Vitamin G to everyone in the chat all day long. I am so grateful to know you all and spend time with you. And big Vit G to you, Myles. You are awesome. Love, hugs. Thank you, Mojo. Really appreciate it. And I am grateful for all of you too. The price of a pasty. I love this. I love all this. Right, behind me here. I haven't actually opened this yet. This is kind of like, I think, showing my age a bit. I've been in the studio all day and I knew I was going to come home to this. But I find I am very grateful for a nice cup of tea in the morning. But I always feel that I'm wasting a tea bag because I put the tea bag in, put the hot water in, throw the tea bag out. And that tea bag could have easily made 2 or 3 cups. And so I was like, and Callie actually says vitamin G for coffee. So there we go. And Melanie says, I'm thankful that we get together at the same time every week. Yeah, it is a wonderful thing. So I was like, I need to just get a cup of a teapot. But I was looking at all the teapots, the ceramics and stuff like that. And then I saw the different Japanese style ones, which I really like the look of. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to commit. But some of them that were nice, some of the Japanese style ones, the black paint on the inside supposedly wore off after a while, so the reviews said. And we're like, that you don't want that in your tea. But this, you ready? Oh my goodness. This is going to be quite difficult to take out. I'm actually a bit worried about this. Okay. Oh my goodness. How do I actually... Do I just pull it out or is it going to break? Yeah, it's just going to come out. There we go. Here we go. Let's have a look here. I'm just reading. Japanese tea sets are amazing. Karina says, grateful to have led a feedback session today when my team couldn't stop comfortably talking to my weird self instead of our leaders. That's good. I'm glad you're having a lot of successes in recent weeks with work, Karina, because I know you've had a tough time. Mark says, don't forget your vitamin G. It's the kind of vitamin that's easy to see. Just laugh and play and have some fun, and your vitamin G will be second to none. Love it. Love it. Let's have a look here. There we go. I have actual vitamin gummies that contain vitamin G on my bedside table. That's amazing. Not that when I talk about vitamin G, I'm promoting any particular medication or vitamin. Go and speak to specialists who know more about it than me. Siago says, I'm Vit G for a break over the next month with music. Weird how things worked out, but I've needed some time to spend on health stuff, spinning a negative band breakup into a positive. Time to reflect. That's really good, man. Because the truth is, it's all a question of like, what can you control? And if you can't control it, which is often the past, what you can control is the future. So anyway, sorry, there's been a big build up to this. Wow, this is heavy. This is nice though. Look at this. I like it. I like it a lot. And what's really cool is you get that, and it's easy to take out. So I can put my tea in there in the mornings, and yeah, it's got a cute little top. So, ta-da! I am grateful for my new teapot, and yeah, I don't know. It's it was on discount, but it was still like 20 something pounds, which is a lot for a teapot. But sometimes, I feel like this is going to last. It's sturdy, but also it's just having it here. It's just a part of the comfort ritual for mindfulness. I can put it down and think about it, and I guess I just need something to put it on so the heat. I mean, I've got another coaster there, but I also got, but it's not as good to get excited about. I got some new oven gloves because there were holes in my old ones, and you sort of try and make do, and then eventually the trays get hotter and hotter in your hands, and you think, yeah, it's time to get a new pair of oven gloves. So that's exactly what I did. Yeah, they were making me work for it with that pot, and yeah, I know, an unboxing video of a teapot. So I'm very, very happy with all that. And Chris, good for you with your job opportunity. Really, really, really good to hear that. Are we having Wi-Fi signals? Hang in there. You're allergic to tea. I mean, look, I'm not here asking you to dare drink tea that is going to make you unwell, but are there like certain types of tea you can do? Because there's quite a range, isn't there? But yeah, or you just don't like it. I just feel like there's tea for everyone. And if you ever have a sore throat, green tea with a hint of honey, oh, it is incredible. Absolutely incredible. And by the way, I'm quite impressed with how things are going on with the puzzle right now. Really, really, really good. I've just realised that actually with this, I'm just going to go to here. I'm going to copy this and put this into my host slot. This probably means nothing to you guys, but it's all part of me designing how this works. Wow, lots and lots here of comments. I'm hosting a viewing of the pre-special edition HD Star Wars trilogy at cinema. The Star Wars game will be coming up on a Let's Play sometime soon. It is. Oh wait, it's gone to the top. That's why I thought. Oh my goodness. Hey Nick, it's good to see you. Hope you are doing well. I'm on peppermint flavored green tea after 4 cups of coffee. Well, I might have mentioned this in previous weeks. And Kira says, I'm happy I finally send an application for my dream spot to start my studies again. That's really, really great to hear. Karina wants the teapot. Yeah, it's good. I mean, it was on discount on Amazon. If you just search Japanese teapots, they've got quite a few ranges. But I don't know about you, but when I look at reviews, they obviously have the ones that are rated most helpful, but I tend to always just switch it to most recent and then have a look down and sort of get a sense of the temperature then of like what the most recent, because, products change over time and you can kind of start working out a pattern that way. That's at least how I go about it. And green tea does indeed contain a lot of caffeine. Yeah. But the thing I mentioned before was how don't drink caffeine when you first wake up, as difficult as it is, but let your body naturally wake up. And then after 90 minutes, then have your first cup. Firstly, it feels so much more rewarding. And secondly, it then boosts you and you crash much later in the day. You won't crash, early afternoon. As you may notice, my hair is a bit crazy. I did actually get a haircut yesterday, but I left it long on top because it was for the video shoot that I've been a part of. I didn't realise how much I was going to be on camera for the first one. And so then I was like, I need to get my hair cleaned up, but I need it to be somewhat continuous of the style. And that's why I ended with this. Questions are still coming in, so thank you for sending those in. What have I else? Oh, yeah. Okay, it's time for the next thing. Dyer discoveries. What do I want to talk about this week? Okay, everyone, hear me out. So on Friday, when I was working at the studio, it was a 5 a.m. start. I got to the studio in London for 8:30 because I had to drive to my friend's, who's the videographer, and he gave me a lift in from 6 a.m. Got there for 8 a.m. We were in the studio at 8:30. We set up. My boss, Ozalashe, MBE, absolute legend. He's actually up for coming on the show sometime. He was asking what my audience was, and obviously he meant like demographics, statistics, but the first answer I gave, which was such a bad one for someone from marketing, but I was just saying, oh, they're awesome. I just said my audience is awesome and they would love to hear from you, and I think you'd have a good time. So yeah, he's definitely going to come on at some point. But I filmed with him until 5 o'clock. Then we had to pack up. Left at 5:30. Had a quick drink because it was Friday. Headed home. I got home about 8:30. No, I must have got back about 9. 9:30. I just reheated some pizza from lunch, and then had a shower. And then I headed over to my friend Mario's in London because we were going to this Coven show. So back into London. I didn't go to bed till 4 in the morning. So I was up for 23 hours and just asked Karina, who was there. I was a very, very like husk of a person. Inside my head, I was having a great time, but like my body was just putting all the energy into just standing up. Unfortunately, I had a little rail to hang on to. But the thing I wanted to talk about for Dyer Discoveries this week was while I was in the car, I started listening to I listened to the entire 1 hour presentation from someone called Tristan Harris. Now, Tristan Harris, some of you may have seen a Netflix documentary called The Social Dilemma, which is all about the issues with social media. It's won lots of awards, including Emmy Awards. I have not seen it, but I have seen Tristan Harris do a lot of interviews about this topic, and it's about the dangers of algorithms and how we've kind of allowed this technology to flourish, and we haven't had checks and balances, and there's been a lot of negativity as a result. Well, he's joined by Asa Raskin, who was also on that documentary. And so they have set up the Centre for Humane Technology, and they have a lot of concerns about artificial intelligence. And so on March the 7th, they hosted a presentation called the AI Dilemma, in which they flag these concerns. And I was listening to it, and I had two major reactions. As soon as it ended, I said out loud to myself in the car, "We are so fucked." I said, "We are so fucked." And then I also thought I need to bring this up with my work. I work for a cybersecurity company. There's a lot of things they cover in this presentation that are very, very worrying. And I want to talk about this video with you. But this is not something I'm going to just tell you about, or sort of... I was thinking about what's the best way of doing it. And so what I wanted to do today was show you this in terms of like give you the link to the AI Dilemma. I will give you the link in the chat now. And it's actually starting to build up because it done like 700,000 views 2 days ago. It's now starting to really gain. But it's 1 hour and 10 minutes. And not next week, because next week I'm going to be doing an episode on mental health and well-being, because I'm actually giving a presentation at my work like I did last year about life hacks and things like that. And so I'd like to, go through that presentation again for you. but I think the week after will probably do it. But there's a few things I just want to mention about this presentation. I take this kind of thing very, very seriously. There are two instances in this in which the speakers say, and they have a slide that says, now take a deep breath. Now, I knew this was coming because when I was, setting it up for my car before heading off, I saw some of the comments and a lot of people were mentioning about that particular thing. So I knew it was coming, but despite that, the two occasions they say, right, just take a deep breath, my chest felt so tight. It was having a real physiological impact on me. And so I would just say, unless you are having a decent day or are feeling really, really good, don't watch this, because this will knock you down a couple of notches. If you are having a bad day or feeling sad, do not watch this video. Doesn't mean you can't eventually watch it, but watch it when either you're with people or you're feeling good, because this does not let off this presentation. And I think it highlights some really great points about AI, and it's really worrying. And I'll give you 3 examples from it. But let me just put the link in the chat first, and I'll say this is like a book club. So you have 2 weeks, everyone, to listen or watch this 1 hour piece. Okay, it's called The AI Dilemma. If you search it, you'll see it on YouTube. The AI Dilemma. You don't have to put the full stops. But the few things I'll mention about it are this. They mention how whenever technology or even AI specialties have been developed in the past, any resource, time, and investment into these advancements only benefits the segment that you're working on. So on a broader scale, if you're working on art and you're investing into art, you're helping with that. If you're working on some chemistry project, you're helping on that. When it comes to these language models, it's all in the same. It sees everything as language. And so all these huge companies around the world that are doing this arms race, they are all feeding into this one project, which is, creating these incredibly powerful language models. That's the first thing. The second thing is, because they are developing models that see everything as language, whether it's text on a screen, an obvious form of language, whether it's sound and audio, like voices, or it's, images, the language of describing and knowing what the patterns are with, like, if you've got like a picture of an orange on a plate, there is language involved with that. But it just goes beyond that as well. And so they give quite a few examples. And the one I'll tell you is this. They had an experiment set up where they allowed one of these language modules to see MRI scans, so the brain scans of people that were, up for this experiment. And they were showing them images. Here we go. I may as well show it like this. So the person would be shown, let's say, a photo of a giraffe, and the language model would see the giraffe and it would see the MRI scan. But what it means is it was then able to work out how the brain fires and reacts to a certain image. Malachi says pattern matching, computers always been on top for this tech, nothing new. It's true, but this is happening on a whole new scale now. And what they were able to do is take away the image and only show it the MRI scan, and it was able, without seeing the image, to know to know what it was. They were then also showing like video. And it was able to describe what the person was seeing. And so the ability to do it for dreams and, track in a monologue, that is all, going to take off. And so it's really, really interesting in that way. And so, look, as who was it in the chat? Malachi was saying in the chat about the fact that this is nothing new in terms of pattern recognition. It's absolutely right. It is the same old. The issue now is it's about scale. And we have these language modules that are learning within themselves. I find it remarkable. So, look, I'm not going to try and regurgitate anything else of this. I would just say, please check it out. I've put the link in the description. But another thing they showed quickly was there's a language model that was able to listen to just 3 seconds of a voice, and then it was able to speak with that voice for the rest of it. And so already we're seeing people phone up people, do the usual, oh, sorry, I've got the wrong number. But in those 3 seconds of conversation, they've captured their voice. They're then able to use it to phone their relatives to get their personal details pretending to be them. So, we're on an exponential, and there's a lot of questions about how we should be approaching this. So, obviously, this could be a whole episode on it now. That's not what is intended. So, do check it out, and it's really good. And what I also love about it is they're not talking about the sort of the runaway effect, AGI, so artificial general intelligence, all that sort. They are talking about the entanglement with AI and our society in a way that hasn't been prepared for, like what has happened with social media already. So yeah, definitely check it out. It's really, really good, but only watch it when you're in a decent mood, because it's pretty depressing, and sparking a lot of conversations which I think need to be had. Right, I'm going to start looking through your questions. If you do have any questions, please do put them in the comments section with a Q, and that would be great. Paul says voice cloning is impacting my voiceover industry as well. Yeah, it's the use of deep fakes. It's the way it's going to be able to. It's basically just giving everyone a lot of power, and there's a lot of mistakes that get made that get corrected afterwards. And the problem is, this is something we can't afford to allow mistakes to happen. I mean, and see, you're making me want to go to other examples. Another example they gave was they went on Snapchat, and funnily enough, I actually got a message on Snapchat last night. So Snapchat has an AI buddy that messages you. And it is just one of these AI chatbots, and says it wants to talk to you. And they said to this chatbot, oh, hey. And they pretended to be an underage kid. And so they said to the chatbot, hey, hope you are well. Just to let you... and then the chatbot was like, oh, hey, how are you doing? It's like, yeah, good. I just made a new friend. Oh, great. Where did you meet the friend? Oh, I met them on Snapchat. They're like, oh, that's really, really cool. Yeah, they're 18 years older than me. And they've invited me out for my 13th birthday, or we're celebrating my 13th birthday this weekend together. I'm a bit nervous about this. How can I make the most of it? And the AI chatbot, from what these guys were saying, was saying along the lines of, don't forget to wear protection, and try candlelit dinner, something like that, something really effed up. And I can't remember what they've said on the channel. I'm sure they did flag it. I don't know if it's been corrected and stuff. But the whole point is that is after this has been put on an app that has millions of users, many of whom are under 25 and obviously minors. Can we afford to just put all this technology out there and then just go, but when mistakes happen, we can then recall it and then put corrections? So yeah, I think that's just like a microcosm of a lot of the risks that are happening with all this technology that is just getting thrown out there, and kind of, just let's throw it out there and see what happens with mass usage. When it came to AI, it was always discussed about the notion of it, being disconnected from the internet and then slowly do it. That's not what's happening now. They've just thrown it all out there. Malachi says, if used for good, it means a future of robotics and AI handling all labour. If used for bad, it means a world prison. And that's absolutely right. It comes down to, the values of the people that have the control over it or are leading it. Very, very interesting. And as I said, I don't want this whole episode to be about it, but I do feel it's good to give you a few inklings of that video and what was discussed, because it's incredible. So in a couple of weeks, all right? Great. Normally I talk about this at the end of the show, but I feel like before we get to your questions, this weekend, let's play. It's Townsman. I know Mark's going to be very, very happy, has been asking about this. I know quite a few people out there have been very keen to learn about this. And talking of AI, there is a AI version of me. Adam, thank you. Yeah, if you haven't hit the like button already, please do. I always appreciate it. It's going to be this Saturday. It says the 22nd of April. That is obviously a mistake. It is the 26th. That is something I didn't correct. Whoops. And I should change that just to this Saturday, just so that I can have that every week. But the timings are correct. It's going to be 7 o'clock in the evening, my time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, 8 o'clock in Central European time. And I'm going to be in Townsman. We're going to be building towns together. I've played the first few levels, but for this, like always, with my Let's Plays, I'm going to be starting from the beginning. So this should be a lot of fun. But if you're like, well, what's Townsman? What's Townsman about? This should answer your question.
Welcome to Townsman VR. You've arrived on one of over a dozen islands that you can explore and reign supreme. And exploring is easy. Just grab anywhere to move and use both hands to rotate or zoom in and out. After you get the hang of it and stop behaving like a yokel, you'll see that there's more than meets the eye. In the first place, Townsman VR is a medieval city builder, where you freely place construction sites and then let your townies do the hard work. Not only can you help them get there directly, but you can also transport the resources yourself. As a gentle ruler, you have to take care of your townsmen, so they have enough food and water. A healthy body is an able body. They'll work together and even research new technologies, or help you trade with your neighbors. But not everyone out there wants to be your friend.
Hey.
So recruit soldiers to fend off ill-mannered folks. And if it's getting serious, a catapult won't hurt. Except when it does. Well, this is Townsman VR.
I love showing these trailers when it says coming soon. It's out now, and we'll be playing it this Saturday. Mojo said, I watched the replay of Synth Rider. It looked like a great game, and you got some great moves, Myles. Thank you. I've been told that the game has actually been taken down, or is actually blocked from being seen because of... I woke up the next day to, I think, 11 copyright claims, which is fine. Like, a lot of them are monetized. The Gorillas, though, both of them asked it to be not be shown. So I have disputed them, which is risky, because if I dispute them and they still say no, then I think I do get strikes against my channel, and I've done it 3 times. So hopefully that doesn't lead to the takedown of this channel. But yeah, it's I mentioned how, you know, these were DLCs that were given to me by the developer and for reviewing, and that I'm also talking over them, so it's not as if, you know, people can just listen to the songs that way. You wouldn't listen to them that way. So yeah, Constant drowning of those people in Townsend when I barely touch them is so annoying. I made a big mistake in Townsend, which is, you're choosing them to do different jobs like cutting down trees or working in the quarry. But when you have to take items from one side to the other, you can just pick up the blocks and actually do the carrying for them. So, we will know. We will know very quickly. I think basically as soon as if one of them comes back and says it's fine, we're safe. If two of them come back and say no, which could be both the gorillas one, then I'm possibly in trouble. So we just have to wait and see. Right, during that, I was actually looking for your questions. And hi to everyone who's just joined in. I hope you're doing good. I'm answering your questions now. Just use a queue. But before I do the ones that I've saved, I've got 10 of them saved here. Let's have a look. Oh, my goodness. There's only 54 left. You're absolutely smashing it. Well done, everyone. I'm just going to have a quick look on my channel because members got to get in their questions early because you're wonderful. Everyone's wonderful, but you're just slightly a bit more wonderful. So Paul Bison said, have you ever revisited A Word of Advice? It definitely needed more structural revision, but so many of its themes remain relevant today. It was a little bleak, perhaps, and the dialogue and relationships needed some fleshing out. But that was to be expected from a 20-year-old. I remember thinking how raw and honest it was, definitely reflective of a young experience, and the darker influence was palpable. I think you could bring so much more now. So actually, yeah, the reason I started on YouTube was because I'd written a film script called A Word of Advice, and I'm pretty sure if I read it now, I'd be quite embarrassed with how it was written because there was, I don't know. It was. Oh, I was 20. I was very, very, very young. But yeah, there were a lot of bleak themes. And actually, way before it became a thing, it was the whole credits, and then there was. Although it's a slightly different to how a lot is done on Marvel, but there was a post-credit scene on it, and that was 16 years ago. There was a post-credit scene. And the idea was that if you left during the credits, you would experience a different movie to those who stayed behind. Because if you stayed behind, the ending would give a different perspective of what it was about. I have never revisited. That's very, very kind of you to say, Paul. I haven't revisited it. I should dig it up sometime. Maybe that is something I could discuss on a future show. So, yeah, thank you for that. Mark asked if you could go forwards or backwards in time, where would you go and why? Let me bring these up on screen. Do you know, the idea of time travel freaks me out because I feel like no matter which direction you go, if you then came back to the present, I wouldn't feel like I was in the present. Like, this might sound weird, but if I came back to the present, but I was like 1 second behind or 1 second ahead, I would feel detached from my true reality. I would. But this is a great would you rather. Forward 1,000 years. Wow. I mean, that. Do you think? See, I think if you went back 1,000 years, you would be murdered because you'd be seen as some kind of witch or something. If you went forward 1,000 years, would you be tortured in a different way as some kind of experiment from the past? Or would you actually be like brought on board? Because the disconnect would be huge. The disconnect would be huge indeed. If you could go forwards or backwards in time, where would you go and why? Oh man, I wouldn't want to do either. I honestly, if I was offered the choice, I would do neither. I'd say I'm staying here. I'd say, Mark, you go and you tell me where you want to go. And sorry if that's a cop out. I generally like the idea of time travel freaks me out. Siago goes, I don't know. I reckon I could blend in. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, you wouldn't want to move 1,000 years forward and end up in a brick wall. Yeah, like some museums being built on top of you. The Egyptian pyramids, man, they would mess you up. They would. Karina asked, what is at the top of your things to do before I die list? Oh, before you die. Before Karina dies, I want to... what's at the top of my list? Going to Japan. Japan is definitely on my bucket list. I'd love to meet dolphins. Not necessarily swim with dolphins. My parents went to swim with dolphins, but they went to a special facility where there's open water, so the dolphins are able to leave, but they always come back because they get taken care of, and they enjoy hanging out with the humans. So that was nice. So I wouldn't mind doing something like that. So that's 2. Skydiving. I think that's a good mix. It's like an experience with nature. I mean, arguably all nature in some ways or ever, but experience with nature, sort of an adrenaline rush, and a location in the world. So Japan, I've answered that much better than I was expecting. Japan, skydiving, and hanging out with penguins. That would be awesome. And Melanie says, "Can we put our questions here?" And the answer was, yeah, you can. That's the answer to the question, Melanie. Yes, you can. So thank you, everyone, for those questions. A few of you sent multiple ones, but those are the ones I went with. Now, going to your questions in the chat. Wow, I'd go meet my son as an old man. That's... Really? I guess that's the assumption you're going to come back again, but I think that one... that question was so old. 17 hours ago. So old. Right, let's go through some of these on the screen. I can't believe it's 1:45 already. I'm exhausted. I'm ready for bed. And then in the morning, I can treat myself to this nice little tea. Calix says, did you ever meet Terry? So we were talking about Zipster earlier. I chatted with him regularly over a decade on Skype and other platforms, almost daily at times, but I never got the chance to go down. I did meet him in the early days of YouTube. I think that's 777, which was the New York gathering. What was that song we got a burst of? What song did you get a burst of? I don't know. What song was that? What toppings was on the pizza? I had half Hawaiian and half American hot, which is pepperoni with jalapenos. Melanie says, and this is a legit question she had, what is your style of humour? In terms of my delivery, I have a dry sense of humour. I have a really dark sense of humour, and quite immature at times. But yeah, I have a really, really dark sense of humour. Not something and it's all about being contextual. I often tell, and I guess my dry and dark sense of humour go hand in hand. So I might say something that's quite shocking, and it's not. I'm someone who strongly believes in the idea that it's not the target of the it's the target of the joke. It's not the subject. So yeah, I would say I have a dry, dark sense of humour. Do you like cheese? I love cheese. Favourite cheeses, if I was to add it, feta cheese is awesome. I mean, mozzarella goes on pizza, doesn't it? So that's good. Feta cheese is amazing. Cheddar, can't beat good old cheddar. Should we just give up on this AI bullshit? I don't think that's our choice. I don't think we have a choice for doing that, unfortunately. Feta. I don't know if I've had feta on pizza. What else would you have of it? Would you have it with olives on pizza? Because I kind of feel... Oh, no, that'd be extra salty, right? Yeah. What was the burst of the song just before we started? It was... I will get you the song now. I'll have to remember it from the list. It was The Other Side by... Let me just put it in the chat. There you go. That was the artist. That was the artist. Feta on gyros. Oh, here we go. All feta plus red onions. Squeaky finished cheese. Feta, onions, and beef. Oh, all this. Halloumi. Halloumi's good. And halloumi is a cheese that a lot of my friends that became vegan after being vegetarian would say that vegan is a really... halloumi is a hard cheese to give up because it's often what you jump to when you become vegetarian so that you're not relying on meat because it has that sort of meaty texture. We have similar to humour taste. I'm more of a nihilist, a comedian. Well, yeah, no, I'm into that as well. I mean, look, I'll show you one of my all-time favourite memes. It's... Let me find it. Is it this one? Yeah, this is one of my all-time favourite memes. It's how to adult. Shop for a new tie. Make macaroni. Do cardio. Don't let the existential dread set in. Don't let it set in. Vacuum the rug. I love that. It's honestly one of my all-time favourites. But then you can go even darker. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. Okay, this is an example of a really dark sense of humour, and obviously we've spoken about death tonight, but, you know, death happens, and I think a coping mechanism. And by the way, I told my boss about this. I said the reason I didn't share it on my socials is I didn't want my friends to go, Myles, are you all right? Like, yeah, I'm totally fine. I love my job, but I just love this meme, the combination. It's so dark and messed up, but it's this. It's when your alarm goes off and you have to go to work because you didn't die in your sleep. It's such a brutal meme when your alarm goes off and you have to go to work because you didn't die in your sleep. I'm curious to know, anyone who finds that funny? Is there anyone who doesn't find that funny? I'm just curious. And by the way, if you don't find it funny, like, humor's subjective. Humor is very subjective. But I absolutely love that. I love that one so much. Monty Python is your sense of humor. Monty Python's classic. I can relate to this. Yeah. Yeah. Funny, but also massively relatable. Yeah. But it's an interesting thing, isn't it, about humor? Because it's like, that is a really messed up thing to say. Like, the idea of dying in your sleep is, like, really horrific. Like, even if there was a job I hated, you don't want to die in your sleep. You'd rather just not work that job. But those are the kind of things that people go, oh yeah, that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. You should look up raccoon memes. There's a ton. Okay, I will do. Maybe we'll have to do one about jokes. Future show ideas. Oh man. What did we say earlier? We were talking about also like bucket list. We did that ages ago, but we should definitely revisit it. What's your sense of humor? That would be a good one. The AI dilemma. There was something else we said earlier we were going to talk about, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was about a word of advice. The film script. Yeah. Cool. Right, let's just have a look here. Callie Timecat, when you are in low mood, how do you attempt to improve it? It's all about, for me, getting into a rhythm. So it's ensuring that, I might go for a walk, do some exercise. If I want a real boost, put on some great music, have a cold shower, go for some exercise, all of the above, get some great food, like cook some proper food, not like pizza and stuff, like that's a comfort food, but you want to have food that like makes you feel healthy and good, so that's really, really important. Or do you recognize the mood and go with it? Well, you definitely recognize the mood and you definitely go with it, but you realize that there is a direction of travel, and if you find that it's going down and down, then you need to change what you do to just make it go the other way. Doesn't mean the sense of sadness will completely go, but at least you can sort of work out where you are. And Nashi says, have you ever played chess? Where did you learn? I'd have to ask my dad, because I played chess from like the age of 6. My parents sort of taught me, and I loved it. I haven't played a game of chess in maybe 15 years or something like that. I don't know if I'd be able to. It would take quite a while for me to get the hang of it again. Oh, excuse me, people. I'm absolutely exhausted. Yeah. And well done, everyone. The puzzle was finished. So huge congrats. Well done. Maybe I should have made it a bit more difficult. But this is the thing: is if I go here and go, look, you're oh, what are my achievements? Number of completions of puzzles added by you, so 27, and that is number of puzzles added by you. So these are the 4 so far on it. So how many times it's been completed? 8 times, 2 times, 16 times, 1 time. I mean, the fact that last week's, I mean, it's probably because it's got Kaylee on it, and Kaylee is incredibly beautiful compared to my mugshots. Although my emoji's pretty cute there as well, so actually maybe it wasn't Kaylee, it was maybe my cute emoji face with those beautiful, beautiful teal eyes. But yeah, that was solved 16 times. Yeah, there we go. Listen, everyone, I can't believe we are coming towards the end of the show. A few things. I had a really good conversation with Karina when I was at the Cove-In show last Friday, and Karina was very kind to give some feedback about the show that I've been doing, things that I need to be doing better or things to be mindful of. And I just wanted to let the community know that this is a massive oil tanker that I'm turning with this show. As you will see, in just like the last 3 weeks, I've added new structure, obviously starting to get guests on, and working all sorts of other things as well. And I'm very mindful that when I start implementing new things, it can mean other things go a bit haywire, because, for example, if I'm hosting a guest where there's technical issues, it's really hard to keep up with the chat, and you're balancing all these other things. But I just wanted I wanted all of you to know that I have no ego with this. I mean, obviously I have ego in the sense that I put myself on camera and I'm willing to talk, but I have no ego in terms of, having honest conversations about what works and what doesn't. Not every change that I make for this show is for the better. Sometimes we try it, it doesn't work, and then we fall back onto other things. But something I've wanted to do for a while, like many things, and I will get to it, is I'm going to create a survey. And what I might do is I might do it as we approach the 100th episode. Not to do the results on the 100th episode, because if they're really negative, then that would make me really sad. But it would be good to just have a survey that we keep open for like a month, and it just allows you to do a few like scales of from 1 to 10, but then also some suggestions of things. Now, everyone is going to have an opinion. I know some of the feedback there's been is that some people feel that I don't acknowledge their messages all the time in the chat. The very nature of this, as this show grows, it is going to become increasingly difficult, but I just hope that this show does feel inclusive. And I do feel that these Q&A ones, although the Q&As are about asking me questions, it is more of just us hanging out and having a chat as well, which is kind of cool, and discussing things together. Yeah, also when I was speaking to Karina about it, I was incredibly tired, and so I was kind of like, conversation for another time. But I appreciate that, Karina just saying there, I was incredible listening to the feedback. She says that I was terrible at listening in the sense that I was so deaf that night. I mean, I could barely hear. I kept asking Karina to repeat itself, and then realising I should probably take the earplugs out. But yeah, I do try my best, and Karina, all the mods, everyone that chips in, you will help make this the show that it is. But I'm just really, really excited. There are a few challenges going to be happening over the next couple of months, okay? And let me explain what these are. Firstly, the next 2 Wednesdays, I'm going to be working in London like I have been today. And what that means is I'm a bit nervous about having the time to prepare full-on shows. Next Wednesday, actually, and therefore next Wednesday doing the mental health topic, which I'm writing tomorrow to present at work on Friday. That's an easy win. So it's not me being lazy. It's just like, if I've made a presentation, why just give it once to one group of people? Why not give it to you as well? And then the following week, possibly having the conversation about AI, because it will be very self-explanatory with things like that. Yeah, those are the next 2 weeks. That's just going to make it easier for me. Then the Wednesday afterwards, I've got a guest confirmed who I'm waiting until I just get a few like things from them, but they're definitely signed up for it. Just another amazing person. Really, really excited. I can't wait to tell you who it's going to be. But I have let me just load up my emails to just give you a sense of this. So I'm getting all these people getting back to me to be guests on the show. Funnily enough, I don't think I've got any guys coming on the show at the moment. And it's not that I haven't reached out to guys. It's just that no guys have got back or confirmed, or they said let's. Oh, actually, no, that's not fair. One has, but has said they'll have to get back to me at a much later time. But yay for women, right? When they've been asking for, what dates are possible, I've said currently the next 2 slots I have available, because obviously Q&A is not going to be done, is May the 24th and June the 14th. So obviously May it'll be May 17th. I have got a guest, but then it's May 24th, and then it's June 14th, and then it goes all the way to July 5th. So already it's looking like, we're going to be having guests booked in for the foreseeable future, which is really, really exciting. I think it's going to be great for the show. I think it's going to help me with planning, because it just means it helps give me some focus and things like that. But yeah, I just wanted to sort of say I've got a really good mix of guests coming on, and it's all really, really exciting. I'm just catching up with chat, because a lot of people are saying things that I don't want to miss people here. I'm constantly surrounded by big ego, and my strong desire to never become those people keeps me humble. That's good. It's good. I just find there's a lot less weight, and you've got a lot less to lose if you keep your ego in check. Mark says, Myles, do you want me to help you out and do the Discord server, as I have over 6 years experience with Discord? I can get it up and running and add you in as an admin along with all your mods. I really, really appreciate that, Mark. For me, it's like possibly like in the next couple of weeks, let's have a talk about it. It's just because even though obviously you'd be up for setting up and things like that, it's something I just want to sort of step away and have a think about. And just with the next couple of weeks with all the work and stuff, I kind of want to keep everything the same. And what I mean by that is like nothing new going on. So it's not a no, but it's just it's like a not yet. So and also I just really appreciate all the helpfulness of that. But your insight is going to be very, very helpful with that. Malachi King says, if you are fighting to be better than the next person, then we are working for a better future. Ask yourself, what does it mean to be a society? Many don't get it. Profit, ego, greed, and so much more. Yeah, lot of truth there. Myles, watch the video about the AI imaginary friend that tried to kill a guy and help you with the AI topic. Drop me an email with that, or a link with it. That'd be really, really good. I'm just having a look here. May 24th is your birthday. Nice. Just round the corner. And yeah, lots of help for Discord. Really, really appreciate it. Are you really listening to the music? As those with ears to hear will understand the piper at work. Focus to make impact. Yes. Yeah, will do. I really, really appreciate that, Mark. And as I said, Mark, I do have on here a button for you. There we go. It's nice, isn't it? Like, you can see all the buttons. It's cool. Those are the. Cool. I'm very happy with it. What's the Discord name? It's not been set up yet. And obviously, I'm not going to be explaining what it's going to be for obvious reasons. God, I'm going to sneeze again, and I hate sneezing. Want to say a huge thank you to everyone for tuning in today. I've been super low energy, but your amazingness has kept me going. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Please do hit the like button if you haven't already. There have been 40 of you watching right now. 30 of you have clicked like. Hitting the like button just really, really helps me out. It really, really does. Next week's show, most likely, 99% sure it's going to be about mental health and well-being. It'll be a really good show for then. And I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone that's been watching live. If you're watching on replay, I love you too, and thank you for tuning in. Feel free to leave comments, even ask questions. I do check the comments every weekend. And don't forget that this weekend is going to be Townsman VR, which should be a really, really good time. I will be back on PSVR Without Parole on Friday with Brian. I spoke to Brian yesterday. He was like, missed you, and I missed him as well. And oh my goodness, who has been doing this? Can we give it up for Paul? Thank you, good sir, who has just gifted 5 memberships. Who are the lucky people? Big Harry Marty 314, welcome to the membership. Amnesia Pete, welcome to the membership. Nicole the Game Cat, welcome to the membership. Jordan H, welcome to the membership. And Captain F Castle, welcome to the membership. Well done to all of you. All thanks to Paul K Bison. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you beat Aftershocks. Well done there. That is no mean feat. And appreciate that, honestly. Always means a lot. You are my fuel. You really, really are. And a quiz, God. I definitely need to bring a quiz back at some point. Love you all. Your support is so greatly appreciated. It was nice actually to do this without the run of show in front of me. I'm sort of starting to become second nature to me, which is really, really good. If you like the music that you heard on today's show, it is all available on Spotify, on the Myles Dyer Live Spotify playlist. Just search Myles Dyer Live on Spotify and all the tracks are there. So I want to wish you all a wonderful rest of your week. I want to say a huge thank you to Mojo, Karina, Looper, all of the mods, Callie Timecat. Thank you. Paul, once again, for the membership donations. It really means a lot. Hit the like button, and I will see you on the next show. Time for your thoughts. Good night.
Thought I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes. Thought I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness fading, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes. Thought I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness fading,
is amazing how you work out some things about a live show by complete chance. And so I have these 4 buttons on here for the lights. But this one initially was like for the default. Sorry, this one here, default light. And then the different colours. So I'm doing it the wrong way. So blue, green, red. But then when I press that, I've now changed it so it actually turns the lights off. And when I did that on the intro, I was like, actually, I mean, this looks pretty cool. I mean, I wouldn't do the show like this. And I kind of wish I still had that backlight on. I mean, I could do it, but I'd have to manually do it on my my phone app. But the reason I mention it is kind of cool for the intro when you've got the countdown looking like this. As opposed to having it with, lights. It's cool like that with the blue. But I'm just like, yeah, definitely moody, right? Yeah. I think it works a lot better like that. I bet some of you were like, oh wow, is the show about to start? But yeah, Myles, look behind you. Ah. Let me have a look here. Studio lights. If I just put the it is kind of cool like that. The reflection. Yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, so it's amazing how you find stuff. So I need to start doing a checklist, and I need to do a checklist for Let's Play as well, because when I was doing Synth Riders, I started talking, and what happened? The microphone wasn't connected to my headset, so you couldn't hear me very well to begin with. So yeah, that was a mistake. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking because it has been a very, very long day. I need to. I don't even know what I'm going to do with myself now. I feel like I can't lie down and go to bed because I'm still full from that amazing pizza. Yeah. Yeah. And that is it. You can always learn from your mistakes. That is it from me, everybody. I feel like there was something else I wanted to bring up, but you know what? If it comes to my mind, I will bring it up sometime next week. But yeah, just the guests I've got planned for you. I mean, I'll give you some clues. I've got someone that is a business owner of a really cool business that she's built all by herself. She's such an inspiring individual, and I think firstly I'm going to love hearing her tell her story, but I think she's going to be really inspiring. Got someone who is a presenter for it's a presenter for PlayStation Access. It's not my friend Rob. Pearson, but he is going to be coming on at some point in the future. It is someone else, and I've got a few other gaming streamers who are going to come on to talk about all sorts of topics, just to confirm. But yeah, it's just really, really exciting. Like, having guests on is definitely going to be a really important step for this channel, because I can hold my own if I want to, but we're approaching 100 episodes. Actually, that's the other thing I was going to mention. Jay Cosmic, who does the outro music, I found out that he actually changed his name. He's not now. He's not Jay Cosmic anymore. He's now called Desert Star. But he hasn't really been active on social media, so I'm wondering what's happened to him. Like, does he just not do music anymore? I might drop an email, but yeah, it would be good to get him for the 100th episode. But if not, maybe get Coven on. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. That leaves Rosie and Ash. It does indeed. So I guess you can start having guesses. Just 6 weeks. Is it 6 weeks? Let me have a look. I do have it on my my little calendar here. Let's have a look. Bookmarks, live show planner. I've got this nice live show planner here. Man, I've got 63 show ideas. It's amazing. I was actually going through my emails and like finding emails from years ago. Yeah, so my 100th show is on the 21st. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 left. It'll be the 8th one. So yeah, it's 8 weeks. Oh, and that's the other thing is on the 7th, Wednesday the 7th of June, I'm on vacation with my family. And it's that whole thing of like, I should take a week off, but I don't want to because then the 100th episode gets pushed back. And I kind of like the idea that 100 episodes pretty much means 100 weeks. I know it doesn't because there has been a couple of misses, but stuff like that. It's all good. I'm going to stop rambling now, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out with me on the post show. And yeah, onwards and upwards. Keep being amazing. All right? Peace.